Right, welcome back. We have a very nice question that's been sent to us by Sandile. He will be with us shortly, but I thought what I'd do is I'd start first of all and present what the question's about. Apparently, an advertising company has to design a logo. Now, the logo looks as follows. You've got a big circle with a little circle, and then a little circle with a big circle here. And they tell us that the radius of the little circle is little r, and the radius of the big circle is big R. Now, the only thing they tell me about this is the big radius added to the little radius must be 200 millimeters. Right, now the first part of the question says, show that the area of this figure is given by A equals 2 pi r squared minus 400 pi big R minus 40,000 pi. Right, now I believe Sandile is with us. Sandile, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Good, great to have you with us. Now, as you can see, this logo is there. So if we're going to find the area, what exactly are we going to do here?
I think we are going to use the area of the cycle because this is our 2 cycles.
Yes, there are definitely 2 circles. You're quite right. If we like, we could take this part here, make that blue part, and this blue part here, and those 2 little ones together will make 1 full circle. So yes, how would I find the area of that blue one, Sandile?
I think you're going to say pi small r squared.
Yes, pi small r squared, correct. Now, of course, we've got the rest of it, which is this part here. And you can see that that part added to this part again makes a full circle. So how are we going to get the area of that one?
We're also going to do the same thing, but just substitute the big R maybe.
Pi big R squared, yes, good. Now, if we look at the thing we're trying to prove, do you see that there's no little r's there? And if there are no little r's there, then we have to get rid of this thing here. Now, the only information I know is this. So do you agree with me? I could say little r is equal to 200 minus big R. And that means I could describe little r in terms of big R. Are you with me there, Sandile? So
yes,
now I'm going to go to this question, and I'm going to say, let's replace this little r with that expression. So A is equal to pi, and just so that it's clear what I'm doing, I'm going to put it in another color. It's 200 minus big R, all squared. And we've got plus pi big R squared. Now, if we look at this thing we are trying to prove, we can see that it is multiplied out. So the logical thing we're going to do now is we are going to multiply this bracket out. So we have the area equals pi. And of course, we can use the shortcut on this. Are you familiar with the shortcut of squaring that out, Sandile?
I think we're going to use FOIL method and then...
Correct. So we're going to take the 200 squared, which is going to be 40,000. We're going to multiply those together, giving me minus 200R. And then we double it, so it's minus 400R plus R squared. Okay, and then we've still got attached to this plus pi big R squared. Now, of course, if we're not familiar with the shortcut, we can always use our normal way where we go 200 minus R times 200 minus R, and then we do the firsts, the outers, the inners, the lasts. And we'll end up with that same answer, won't we?
Yes, we are going to end up with that.
Correct. So we are happy with that. Let's go back to the question. Right, so I've just managed to rub out a little bit of my question there. So now I'm going to times the pi in. So if I do, I've got 40,000 pi minus 400 pi big R plus pi R squared plus pi R squared. Now that's very good news because those are like terms, aren't they? Now normally when we write an expression, we always start from the biggest power to the least power. It doesn't really have to be, but it's usually the convention. So I would start by looking at that and saying 2 pi big R squared minus 400 pi R plus 40,000 pi. Now, if we look back to what we were trying to prove, it was to show that the area is that, and you can see we have got exactly what they wanted.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So let's look at the second part. Now, what is nice about this question is they have told me what it had to be. So if for some reason I don't manage to get it right, to get that top part, I can assume it and carry on going, which is very nice. So at least that you don't lose the whole question's marks, only just that first portion. But it's not too bad to do that top part. Now, the second part of the question asks you to find the value of big R and little r if the area is minimized. Okay, now as soon as we hear the word minimized, what section do we think of? We think of calculus, you agree?
Yes, calculus. Yes.
So how do we find the derivative of this? We're going to say that that becomes 4 pi big R minus 400 pi, and this, of course, is a constant, so it just falls away, it becomes 0. Now,
Yes,
for a min, or for a max for that matter, what do we do with the derivative?
We substitute to 0.
Right, we put it equal to 0.
Yes.
Quite right. So we get this, and now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for that big R. Now, the moment I do that, I bring this over, so 400 pi equals 4 pi big R, and if we divide this side by 4 pi and this side by 4 pi, we find big R to equal 100 millimeters. Now, of course, we do know that little r plus big R is equal to 200 millimeters. So what does that tell me about little r?
It's also equal to 200.
It's also equal to 100 millimeters. So
200 meters. Definitely.
I'm sorry, Sandila, I just lost you there a bit. Is that all right? You're happy that it's equal to 100 millimeters?
Yes, I'm happy.
Good. So now there's one thing I'd like to also suggest you do. I saw a question the other day, and it's something that, I don't know, sometimes it's not really necessary, but it is a good idea to check it out. And that is to say, if we are testing to see a minimum, let us see what our second derivative would be. Now, if I take the derivative of the derivative, I'm going to get 4 pi. What type of number is that? Is it positive, negative, or 0? Sandila, are you with me?
So come again?
Is that a positive, negative, or 0 number? 4 times pi would be a positive times a positive, so it must be greater than 0.
Yes.
And if the second derivative is greater than 0, we have a minimum value. Now, in this question, you didn't need to do that, but sometimes you will get 2 answers. And if you get 2 answers, you might have to test it using second derivative or some other method to see which is the correct one that we need to use to carry on the question. Right, so now we go down here, and we can see that's the answer. We definitely know that's true. So the third question says to me, why is it not possible to design the logo as they want it at a minimum area? Well, what is happening to this figure, Sandila? If the big R and the little r are both 100, do you agree with me that how this will actually look is sort of like this? Excuse my circles. And so this would be the big R would equal the little r. And so you agree with me, it wouldn't take that nice logo shape that they originally put in the question. It wouldn't look like that. So that's why it's not possible to design that logo with that shape and get a minimum area. You would have to have it looking like this. Lovely question, Sandila. Thank you for sending it in to us. And hopefully you'll find some more and phone us up again. Thank you, Sandila.
Okay.